Grow up in the countryside. Homeschooled because my parents don't trust the government. Otherwise, they were great parents though. Don't have any neighbors or siblings, so no friends. Parents buy me comic books to spark my imagination. Start really enjoying Spider-Man. White Spider-Man becomes my favorite, pick related, so my parents make me a costume for my 10th birthday. Wear it every day. Parents encourage me to play outside more. Nothing out there.gif. Whatever. Pretend to be Spider-Man while jumping around the forest. Fast forward a few years. Always been tall for my age, and by the time I'm 15, I'm 6 foot. Never really did sports though, except for running around the forest like Spider-Man, which I was getting pretty good at, so pretty thin and lanky. One evening, around 6-ish, while playing near the road into the town, I see a car's headlights stopped still on the road. Go to investigate. Peering from the trees, I see some teenagers, maybe 18 or so, standing around the car. First time I've seen people other than my parents in years. Can't make out what they're saying, but they seem distressed and jittery. Want to go ask if I could help, but scared they won't like me. One of them peers in my direction. It's around sunset, so there's not loads of light. Unsure if he can see me or not. Our eyes lock for what feels like hours. Hear boom and instinctively drop into a prone position. Guy looks away briefly as the car starts smoking. He looks back towards me, but his gaze never settles. Wonder what he's looking for. Another one loudly says a naughty word. They grab all their stuff from the car and carry on foot. Want to learn more, so decide to follow them. Take off my Spider-Man mask, so they'll know I'm not really Spider-Man if they see me. But try to stay hidden, because I think they might not like me. In my head, I'm their guardian angel. After about an hour, they come to a clearing. They begin to set up camp. Realize this is the same clearing where I reenact my Justice League operas. My limited edition Superman action figure is still buried there in a stunning twist when Zod imprisoned him at the end of my last episode. Think I can casually walk over and explain the situation, but notice one of them is standing by their camp's outskirts looking pretty intimidatingly into the forest. It's the same guy who was staring in my direction earlier. Decide to call him Weird Al. Circle around the forest surrounding the opening, looking for the easiest way to sneak into the camp. A twig snaps beneath me. Suddenly, Weird Al reacts really fast. Notice he's holding a gun and pointing it in my direction. Don't think he can see me though, since he keeps moving his aim around. Realize they're playing commandos. Pretty soon they get a fire going. It's pretty dark by now. Weird Al is sitting with the others in a circle around the fire. Can hear them talking and laughing. Want to know what they're saying, and still want my Superman figure back. Crawl on all fours towards their camp because I'm still playing Spider-Man. Certain they can't see me in this dark. Get close enough to make out what they're saying. Talking about ghosts and urban legends. Never heard a good ghost story outside my comic books before. Lie on the ground listening. Eventually, fall asleep to their stories. Wake up a couple hours later. Fire's still burning, but they're all gone. Probably inside their tents. Stomach rumbling.jpg. See they left some bags of food around. Figure they won't mind if I take some. Some weird plastic wrapping with something crunchy inside. Have to rip it open, but inside is a salty treat. Remember to grab my Spider-Man. Dig around and retrieve it. Worry about the fire. Notice it's attracting moths. I don't want these guys to be attacked by a swarm of moths in the morning. Also, don't want to contribute to greenhouse gases unnecessarily. Use one of their water bottles to douse out the fire. Decide to head home for the night, but promise myself to visit them again tomorrow to see how they're doing. Scamper away on all fours because I remember I'm still supposed to be Spider-Man. The next day, don't tell my parents about the campers because I've never had real friends and I'm scared my parents will grow concerned. Return around 5 in the afternoon with binoculars this time so I can pretend I have Spidey vision. Just before sunset, so it's still bright enough. Still wearing my Spider-Man suit without the mask. Again, wait at the edge of the clearing in the forest, spying on them through my binoculars. They've got new firewood, lots of it. Appear to be cooking a rabbit. Not cool, guys. Rabbits are our friends. Begin to wonder what rabbit tastes like. Remember, I need to focus. Weird Al is by their tent, looking at the forest gun by side. On the other side of the fire, one of his friends is looking out the other direction and appears to have a gun too. I see they're finally taking commando seriously. The other 3 people, 2 girls and a guy, are sitting close together. The guy is tending to a rabbit and the girls are wrapped up in a blanket. Watch them for a while. One of the girls reminds me of Mary Jane. Wonder if she could be my girlfriend, like in the comic. Eventually, go back to Weird Al. Feel something on my shoulder. Drop my binocs as I swat a spider away. Hear shouting. Look over at the camp. Weird Al is pointing his gun in my direction and shouting. The cooking trio back away. The other guy with the gun rushes to Weird Al's side. I'll call him Friendly Steve because he seems less tense. Friendly Steve points his gun in my direction too. What the fuck? Decide he's more like Angry Steve. Not entirely convinced they're actually aiming at me. Start circling the edge again like last night. They seem to move their aim with me. Weird Al starts shouting at me. Can't make out what he's saying. It's better to say nothing and have people think you're stupid than open your mouth and confirm your stupidity. Shouts at me again. Have no idea what to do. Parents were right. I am too immature for social situations. Tony Stark would surely know what to do. Suddenly, hear a loud bang and the tree next to me explodes. Well, a chunk of it explodes off. Instinctively crouch in a prone position. Several more bangs. Can't see Weird Al or Angry Steve very well because they're surrounded by smoke, but see a few flashes of light. Eventually realize they're shooting at me. Is this guy deaf? What the fuck? What did I ever do to them though? Run off on all 4s again. With my experience, it's much faster than running. The fuck? He is not human. This guy's actually a skinwalker. Get home and start crying. Parents ask me what's wrong. I tell them I met some cool youths and they didn't like me. Parents hug me and tell me maybe it's because of my costume. Mom thinks it's proof I'm not ready to have friends. Dad insists that this could be good since I'm showing initiative by going out to meet people. They settle on dressing me appropriately tomorrow so I could reintroduce myself. They assure me that if I just be myself, the kids will like me. Take comfort in their words. Next day, dress in an old t-shirt and sweatpants. Put on my best smile and head out to meet them. Mom offers me some cherries before I leave for good luck. Don't mind if I do. Must have eaten like 30 cherries. Had cherry juice all over my mouth. As I'm wandering through the forest, cherries attract flies which cause me to stop paying attention and I slip into deer feces. On the verge of tears cause I smell like deer shit. Want to head back, but no. I have to be strong if I'm ready for friends. Heading towards camp, I see Mary Jane wandering around the forest. She keeps calling out a name. Ben, I think. Stand still watching her. She sees me. At first, she winces. Remember what my parents told me about being social. Smile at Mary Jane. Smile and the world smiles with you after all. She doesn't smile. She takes a step back. Have you seen my friend Ben? She says. She says it really fast. Repeat it back to her a couple of times to digest it and look down. Oh no. My parents say it's rude to break eye contact. Look back at her in the eye. Well? She says. Again, I repeat it. Think and then say, Your friend Ben, I have not seen. So she'll think I'm mysterious and mystic. Notice she's covering her nose. Why? She suddenly looks really scared. I go to comfort her and she immediately runs off into the forest. That was weird. Carry on and come to the old factory river. You should never swim in it because there was a factory upstream that leaked its sewage into it. My dad was really upset about it, but apparently it wasn't illegal due to some weird loophole or something. Hear talking. Crouch low and walk downstream towards the voices hiding behind the bushes. See Weird Al and Angry Steve playing in the water. See all their stuff about 100 meters away on the shore. Their guns. Guns are bad, my parents always say, and as the only resident on site, it's my duty to confiscate them until they're ready to leave. Walk over and take them. Weird Al and Angry Steve don't even notice. Too busy playing. Guns are heavy, and so after around 20 minutes, I put them in a ditch and cover them with leaves so I could get them later. Carry on towards their camp. Get there and it's empty. Not a soul in sight. Rabbit leftovers are on a spit around the fire's remains. Since there's no one around, I decide to take a bite of the rabbit just to taste it. Easier said than done. End up accidentally breaking the spit trying to tear a bit off. Lose my balance and trample over one of the tents. Whoops. Draw a peace sign in the dirt in Kryptonian as a way of apologizing. The rabbit didn't even taste very good in the end. Make my way back home. I would return in the evening. Gets dark out and I've changed my clothes. I'd completely forgotten about the cherries on my face. Mary Jane must have thought I was some sort of cherry bandit. Face is all washed now though. Put on my best suit. After all, this is my last chance to make friends. Thinking about it, up until she ran away, me and Mary Jane actually got on pretty well. Maybe there's hope for us yet. Work my way back to the edge of the clearing. Their camp has a huge fire. They're all out of sight though. No stories or cooking. See that they didn't put the tent I trod on back up. See the other tents rustle. Weird Al rushes out past the fire. In the moonlight, I just about make out him running 20 meters or so and then stopping. He stands still for another 30 seconds with his back to the camp before running back to camp. Just before he reaches the fire, he stops and looks in my direction. Has he seen me? Hurrah! I could finally introduce myself. He starts shaking and shouting. Not wanting a repeat of yesterday, I make myself visible by stepping out of the bushes so they don't think I'm a deer or something. Weird Al shouts at me, and this time I hear what he says. Ben? Is that you? I repeat it back, then realize what I said. Of course I'm not Ben, idiot. Remember to smile. Find it hard to smile and talk, so just shake my head. End up accidentally shaking my whole body. By now, the rest of the gang has come out of the tent. I say the rest, but there's only 4 of them. One of the guys is missing. Oh, that must be the Sven they were asking about. Begin to wonder myself where he is. They're all staring at me weirdly and shivering even though it's summer. Where's Ben? I shout. Angry Steve whispers to Weird Al and Weird Al shouts back that he doesn't know. Then he shouts at me. What have you done with Ben? If this is a game, I don't get it. Decide the only way to earn their trust is to impress them. Drop down on all 4s and do my Spider-Man crawl so they'll see how agile I am. They immediately scream and I'll run away. How weird. Run after them. Matching their pace is surprisingly easy. Maybe because the girls had short legs. Follow Weird Al into the forest. The forest shields the moonlight, so I can only see a silhouette. He turns to me. Roger, did you see that thing? It looked human, but its movements. Can't think of anything to say, so just nod. Weird Al keeps talking, saying how useful his AR would be right now. No idea what he means. Eventually, meet up with the others. Celebrations all around. Finally, they accept me. They must have been impressed by my Spider-Man crawl after all. Angry Steve says they should try to find the car. What about Ben? I muster in my best Weird Al impression to show I'm one of many talents. I hate to say it, James, but I think he's gone, says the girl who's not Mary Jane. Who on earth is James? Suddenly, Mary Jane stops walking. What is it, Sam? Angry Steve asks. Mary Jane whispers in his ear. He raises his arm and starts pointing at us while counting. Ben's not here, he says, very slowly. Weird Al replies, yeah? Before suddenly standing up straight. He just screams, run! And takes off. Everyone scatters. Begin to think my new friends are a little weird. Decide to go home. Never did find out what happened to Ben. But that forest is full of ditches, so he was probably just playing hide and seek. Still can't believe Weird Al and Angry Steve are playing in the water. My dad says the factory's chemicals mean that bathing in it will make your hair fall out for sure. Anyway, that's my weird story.